What's up everybody? Today is going to be kind of a special video because if anyone followed my Swarm playthrough so far, you're going to witness that wizards are not that great at being solo characters. In fact, a lot of things go wrong. I don't have enough strength to carry my stuff. I don't have any AC nor will saves because wizards are not made to be frontliners, so the enemies just stomp through me. And I can barely get through a fight. My spells are good, but I don't do any damage because wizards are mainly crowd control persons, but if you never do damage, you're never gonna win any fights. So, I set off with the goal of finding a good build for solo runs for the Swarm that walks. The build would start at level 17 and would take into account the Swarm that walks mechanics. Now, this is the first video of that series where I explore a few builds. I'm probably gonna do 4 of them because I have 4 ideas. The first one that we're gonna see today is a strength Slayer that uses a shield as a weapon. It's really fun. You have crazy AC, your saves are alright, and there's not that many buttons to press. So, you know, for the simpler minds that just want a really strong build, this one is it. The next builds I'm going to go through are probably Water Kineticist with insane AC and big AoE damage that are made to one-shot everything from what I hear. I've never done it, so this is the time to try it. The third one is probably going to be the Sword Saint Monk Paladin thing where you get to smite and you get to be impossible to kill because you add your Wisdom, Charisma, and Dexterity to your AC and your saves, something like that. So that's going to be the third build. And then the last one is probably going to be a Druid kind of build or a Sylvan Sorcerer. I don't know. I just want a big summon build that just blasts off. So that's it for the intro. Let's get into the first build. And I'm talking about the Slayer build. Now, this is the Mythic Paths, and I'm going to get to that soon. But let's start with everything first. You're going to start the build at level 17 because this is just the level you're at when you start becoming a Swarm. The skills are going to take because the skills are really important. That was a big problem with the Wizard. I didn't have any skills that were good. Trickeries, athletics, mobility, and everything was just complete shit. So I'm gonna redo this and we're gonna take as many skills as we can. So for this build and for many others, the skills you're gonna focus on whenever you put a level into anything are gonna be athletics, persuasion, mobility, perception, stealth, and trickery. That is 6 skills, and it's pretty good. Slayer does give you a lot of skills, and you get Fast Learner as a thing, but we're gonna go through the level ups, so don't worry. The important is just that these skills are required during the game. Use Magic Device could be cool, but it's not required. Same for the lore and the knowledge things. You're not really gonna use it all that much compared to athletics, persuasion, mobility, perception, stealth, and trickery. So I just want you to know to put your points in there whenever you take a level up, because I'm not gonna remind you every time. So the class thing should look a little bit like this. I'm gonna go through everything, and I'm gonna include a sheet on Excel that's gonna just give you everything you need to do the level up yourself. So if you want to just open the video, I'm gonna go slowly through the level up and you can build your stuff alongside me. Or if you want to just have the Excel sheet for later, it's gonna be in the comments below. So without further ado, let's get into it. On creation, the background you're gonna take is Pickpocket for the increase to stealth and trickery. You're gonna take the Slayer proficiency, obviously the good one. The important thing here is that Shield and Martial Weapon are there. And the 2 feats you're gonna take, because you can take 2 at the first level, is 2-Weapon Fighting and Fast Learner. Fast Learner because you want that extra skill, and 2-Weapon Fighting because your shield is gonna be a weapon, but we're gonna get to that later. The class, the race you want to take is human, and you want to put your points into strength. The spread is going to be on the sheet. Actually, I'm just going to look it up real quick because I don't want you to not have it right. So the exact stat spread you want is 18 strength, 15 dex, 14 con, 14 int, 10 wisdom, and 8 charisma. You don't really care about charisma. So that's that. This is with items and everything, but we'll get through it. Now, so this is the first level. You can I took ADism, but you can take pretty much anything as long as you can be like neutral evil. Well, there's not really any requirement for this, which is what I love about it. So this is your first level as Slayer. You're gonna get obviously studied target, so that's pretty cool. On level 2, you're gonna get a Slayer talent choice. I want you to go into the combat feat, the combat trick feat, or the combat style feat, excuse me, and you're gonna choose Shield Bash in the sword and shield. What this is gonna do is that it's gonna make your shield act like a spiked shield. So heavy shield, which is the thing we're gonna use, is gonna deal 1d6 damage and considered as a one-handed weapon. This is like the crux of the build, so be sure to pick it up. On level 3, you're gonna take weapon focus Scimitar. You can take pretty much anything. I just really like Scimitars in generals because their crit is really good. And they're just insane weapons, and there is this one really cool scimitar that's called the Rupturing Storm, but by any means you can put any one-handed weapon. I think it doesn't really matter. You're gonna get your sneak attack. With Slayer, this is not something you have to choose, so don't worry. On level 4 in your Slayer talents, you're gonna take Slippery Mind, because you don't want to be mind affected when you're the single player in your party. This is not something you want to have happen. At level 5, you're gonna take Power Attack in your main feat. This is just gonna be really good, and once again you have to do the whole skill spread and everything. But Power Attack is just good in general. One good thing to note about it is that you can turn it off if you want, if you have a really bad time hitting enemies, which I highly recommend. On level 6, and I'm gonna wait for you to put all of your points, but you're gonna get a new Slayer talent. The one you're gonna pick up this time is Uncanny Dodge. This is gonna make it so you're never flat-footed. Why is this good? Because often you're gonna not be the first one in the combat initiative, and you don't want to be caught flat-footed at this time, especially until you get your Swarm Clones. At level 7, you're gonna take Outflank. Why Outflank? Because it's a good time as any to take it, and honestly, when you're gonna have all of your clone, they all inherit your Outflank, so that's pretty good to have. At level 8, in your Slayer talent, I want you to pick 4 Improved 2 Weapon Fighting. This is a thing you pick up at level 1. Now, this is the improved version of it. It's gonna make you have another attack with your offhand weapon, which is gonna be your shield. Pretty great. At level 9, you're gonna get a nice feat. It's gonna be called Improved Critical Scimitar. Now, this is for your main weapon, obviously, so do not pick anything different than your main weapon. If you chose something else at weapon focus, pick Improved Critical for whichever weapon you have. The one thing that I love with this is that the Improved Critical Scimitar, it makes this crit on a 15 to 20. That's insane. You're gonna get more sneak attack, yay. At level 10, you're gonna get a new Slayer talent and the advanced Slayer talent. So you're gonna see a lot more there than what you saw before. The better one to take at this point is Crippling Strike. So it's gonna drain 2 strength every time you damage someone with a sneak attack. This is really good for long encounters where the strength is just gonna plummet and they're not even gonna be able to hit you at all after a while. This is really, really important. This is probably the best one in the improved talent. At level 11, I mean, you're gonna get another feat, and I want you to take Shield Master. Basically, you don't take penalties with attacks made with the shield anymore, which is really strong, because before that you do get a lot of penalties. Now, since this build starts at level 17, it's still pretty good. You're never gonna get a bad moment, but yeah. At level 12, you're gonna get another Slayer talent, and I want you to pick Improved Uncanny Dodge. Basically, this just means that you can no longer be flanked. It is the improved version of the first one that said you could not be flat-footed, and this is the real deal, okay? Not being flanked is insane, especially when you're a one-man party where you're inevitably gonna be flanked in large encounters. At level 13, the next feat you're gonna take is Bashing Finish. This is gonna make it so whenever you crit with your scimitar or any other weapon of your choice, you're gonna follow this up with a shield attack. And this is pretty good. It's gonna be the same bonus, so you're probably gonna hit if it's in the first few hits. And this is really good, especially with the scimitar. That's why we take scimitar, but if you took something else, that's up to you. You're just gonna do a lot of damage with this and scimitar. At level 14, you get another Slayer talent, and you're gonna take Dispelling Attacks. Now, with this build, you don't have anything magical, and that's kind of a bummer. But at the very least, you can dispel with this thing now. Yeah. I'm just gonna give you some times to put in your points and to catch up if ever you are lost. At level 15, catching up to the later levels now, you're gonna take your feet and you're gonna put it into Double Slice. This is gonna make it so you add your strength modifier to your shield bash weapon attacks, and that's gonna make it a real weapon now, basically, to the damage rolls. So instead of being like 1d6, it is now going to be 1d6 plus 33, the little thing here. You see? On level 16, you're gonna get another improved Slayer talent, and you're gonna take Greater 2-Weapon Fighting. This is the thing you took at level 1 and at level 8. And this is basically gonna get you another attack with your shield, but at a -10 penalty now. So you can see here, we have 3 attacks with the shield, and we have 4 attacks with the scimitar. This is a total of 7, and these are the numbers we get to the hits. If we undo power attack, we get 5 to hit on this, which is really, really good, okay? I don't want you to forget that power attack, disabling it is 5 points. So that's really good. Never forget about it. On level 17, the feat you're gonna take is Accomplished Sneak Attacker. This is gonna give you a little bit more d6s. Now, there is a caveat to this build, because up to this point, we're up to level 17. Now, you have 3 more feats that we didn't have time to discuss. What I'm thinking those feats are gonna be is Wearing Strike, Tearing Critical, and Exhausting Critical, or any of those things. You just want to make your critical and your sneak attack as strong as possible. Wearing Strike drains the constitution, I think, and Tearing Critical and Exhausting Critical makes your enemies really, really weak to attack you. So that's pretty much everything for the class. Now we're gonna go into the Mythic Path right away. This is pretty self-explanatory. It is going to be in the spreadsheet nonetheless. Now, for this, we are going to go for... I'm going to go from the bottom and just tell you every level what to pick. And then you can choose whatever. This is to be made after you chose Storm That Walks, so your level 8 is the literal Storm That Walks thing. Also, good thing to note, and it's maybe a bit late to put it here, but if you do rescale, you are going to lose all of your Swarm Feast size thing. So you really want to do this the moment you get to Dresden, and then you can choose Storm That Walks. You really want to do this right away. So, from the grounds up, we're going to take Thundering Blows because we don't want to miss any attacks, and Bit of Fun because this is the better one for solo playthrough. It's basically going to give you Mirror Image, and that's really good. On the second level of Mythic Rank, we're going to take 2-Weapon Fighting Mythic. On the third level, we're going to take Unrelenting Assault. On the fourth level, we're going to take Improved Critical Mythic Scimitar, or whichever weapon you took. But I'm assuming it's going to be Scimitar. On level 5, we're going to take Defensive Study, just to make sure you have enough AC against large encounter. On level 6, you're going to take Power Attack Mythic. This is going to make your power attack really good, so make sure to take it. On level 7, we're going to take Magic Nullification. This is really insane because you don't really buff yourself. You're going to use it basically all the time. This is a thing you toggle, and it's going to nullify a lot of problematic enchantments on you, basically. On level 8, you're going to go into the Mythic Feat, okay? And I want you to take Rupture Restraint. What this is going to do is it's going to make you immune 3 times a day to the frightened, dazed, sickened, shaken, staggered, nauseated, stunned, paralyzed, or confused effect whenever you become affected by any of those. This is going to make you really hard to beat on those front. The 2 other Mythic Feat I'm thinking of taking would be, for this one, Flawless Attack, which is going to be this thing right here. If I can find it. And I can't. Obviously I can find it. But it would be Flawless Attack. My god, can I really not find it? Anyways. Here I would take Flawless Attack, and for the Mythic Feat. This is going to be here. Okay, I would take Flawless Attack for this one. And for this Mythic Feat, I would take probably, since it's going to be your last one, I would probably take, where is it? Leading Strike, which is going to be like, you put a mark on an ally, and then everybody's going to get it, and everybody's going to hit it once, and the mark is going to basically be triggered every time, and it's going to be 10d6 per mark dealt. This is insane. So there you have it. Now, for another big part of it, so you know the spellbook, you can't cast spells, so I'm not going to talk about spells. Another big part of this build is essentially the equipment. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I have. You don't have to take any of it, you don't have to do anything like that. You can take whatever equipment you have on the spot. But this is really the best thing I've had so far. So I'm going to go through it, and then you guys can tell me in the comments below if you have different items, or if I'm missing out on something, or anything. So, oh, also, one cool thing is that you can actually add items with toy box. I might give you a tutorial later on, but just search it. It's really easy to do. So basically, you can add yourself all of these items, so don't worry about it. And these are all items that you should have by that point in time. So the helmet is going to be Warden's Circlet. This element of mental perfection +4 grants the word to summon 2 Labyrinth Demodan, but this is not what we care about. We just care about the mental perfection +4 because it gives us a little bit of everything here. Goggles of Malofio. This is a pre-order thing or anything. I don't exactly remember where you get those, but I just had those in my inventory. We basically just want +10 on perception, and that's it. We don't really care about the bow thing because we're not using any bow, so yeah. For the cloak, we're going to go with Peerless Shades. Whenever the wearer of this cloaks lands a killing blow, they are affected by greater invisibility spell as if it was cast by a 15th level wizard. In addition, this cloak grants +10 competence bonus on stealth skills. So this is really good if you want to stealth pass encounter or position yourself better. And also, the greater invisibility spell is pretty good. Most big enemies are going to be able to see it, but some won't, and it's going to be a game changer. Ring of Protection +5, you can get +6 or plus anything. The higher the better, essentially. And Ring of Evasion, this is really good because with all of your reflexes, you're going to be able to take no damage, essentially, which is really good. For bracers, I'm going to take Bracers of Abrupt Onslaught. +5 bonus to Trickery is pretty much all you need here. And whenever we make a sneak attack, it deals an additional 1d6 bludgeoning damage. This is like as good as it gets. For the weapon, I have the Rupturing Storm, as I said earlier. This is the weapon that drops from Midnight Fane. And the Undying Love of the Oathbringer. This is the shield that is at the end of Cauliflower Mines near the Ebzamura fight. For necklace, I'm gonna give myself natural armor +5. Seasoned Assassin's armor is the weird thing here. Now, you don't want medium armor or heavy armor because they're gonna hinder your checks too much, I feel. So light armor is pretty good in general. The big problem here, and this is like the ultimate problem, is that this thing makes you prone if you get critical hit in melee, but it protects you from all range. So if you're, I suggest having another like thing here that's basically, hey, we can just switch us out and it's not gonna do much, you know, you're not gonna lose too much doing it, but it's still really good to do. So I would keep another armor on the deck. So Seasoned Assassin's armor when there's a lot of range, and something else when there is not a lot of range. You can literally take any light armor you like. For robes, I take silver robes. It's just +1 bonus on all saving throws against fear. It's better than nothing. If you find a robe that you like, just roll with it. Belt of Physical Might +6. This is just strength and constitution up, because strength is really good and constitution to keep us alive, essentially, and get high fortitude save. The gloves, I don't really have any gloves that are worth it. Like those are just whatever. But if you find a glove, do put it on. And the boots, boots of Freest Terrain. This is basically +10 bonus to base speed and a constant freedom of movement spell. This is really, really good when you're alone and you want to cover a lot of space. For the usable item, I'd keep like one of the little thing. I'd probably not keep Pipe Fox. I'd keep the Imp one, but my party left with the Imp one, sadly, so I don't have it. So the only one I had was the Pipe Fox. I might adjust that later. I'd take the Luck Pickers kit too, to give you better trickery as well, and Jar Sigax. Now this is something you get after, but my dumbass refused the quest, so I just gave it to myself because I'm assuming that's the first quest anybody's gonna do. Randomly additional 1d4 cold, fire, acid, or elixir damage on a successful hit with a weapon is nothing to sneeze at, obviously. So we've covered the leveling, the Mythic Path, the weapons and everything, and I think that's it for this build. So the last thing I want to do is I have on me a little thing and it is a clip. So we're just gonna watch this clip together, essentially, and this is pretty much the whole how the build is to function. So I'm just gonna walk you through it. Basically, you can see I have a few summons here and there, and this is a fight near the end. You don't want to fight the big bosses right away. You kind of want to scale your swarm size as much as you can. And you can see the swarm size is, well, you'll see in a moment when it is my turn, but it's going to be down near the action bar to the right of it. You'll see there's like a little number with the swarm size. Now this fight is kind of a mess, and I'll just show you how the fight goes. So you can see the swarm size is 54 out of 0 right now. And you just want to hit your enemies as much as you can, and then you get greater invisibility. The mirror image are from Bit of Fun, and the summons are from the headbands, but the summons are not that important here. What's important is that you can see most of the enemies are not going to go for you actually, because you are going to be invisible most of the time. This is the real strength of this build, and right now the big problem is that maybe it's because they're fighting together, but after this fight we're going to devour a few enemies, you're going to see, and we're going to go ahead and fight another few enemies that are not going to be fighting each other, and they're all going to focus on us. Now you can see me switching my swarm form here. This is just to deal additional damage because the fight is going to take forever, but The swarm form that gives you AC to your swarm size is pretty good in general, so I'd keep that until you are not under threat anymore. You can see me doing the target every time, and when you're going to be level 18, you can actually quarry as a free action as well, so you're going to be able to study target and quarry, but right now I'm just studying the targets, and it's working pretty well. As you can see, I'm just going to keep hitting everything, and it gives my Demodan weapon better fire whenever Rupturing Storm crits, so obviously that is nothing to sneeze at. So we're just going to keep fighting a little bit. We're positioning ourselves to be able to hit everything after we kill one of them, and you can see the damage is a lot of sneak attack. So here we're just going to switch Devour to something close on the keyboard, and we're going to Devour slowly, and you can see the swarm size going up. So the left amount is the amount of CR monster you eaten, and the left amount is the CR monsters you eaten so far, and the right amount is going to be your swarm size. So you can see right now we're at swarm size 1. And this is actually going to be another fight that we're going to take. Now, these don't hit hard, but you can see they're not hitting all that much, and the only reason they're hitting is because they're touch AC, sadly, which the shield doesn't cover. But you can see us pretty much staring through them right now. And we do get invisibility, so they're going to have a harder time hitting us, and we're switching back up our AC bonuses to the swarm size. So this guy is just going to hit as much as possible, and yeah, that's pretty much what this build is about. If you like it, like, subscribe, comment. If it's helped you, let me know in the comment below, because it sure helped me finding out this. Serie is one of the better class in the game. It gives you a lot of skill, and it gives you a lot of damage, and with this build, you do get a lot of everything. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll switch you back to this here. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. This is what it should look like next, and I'm probably gonna try this build. The big bonus of this build is that you're never encumbered, which is super good, and there is a lot of skills. We'll see what the Kineticist gives to the table, we'll see what the Sword Saint brings to the table, and we'll see what the Sylvan Sorcerer brings to the table. But so far, this build has been a really strong showing, and I can't wait to see how good it does later down the road. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.